What's up, everybody? We got a little bit of injury news to go over before the Chiefs travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills for the divisional round. There was an injury report that dropped last night. That was pretty much expected. We all knew what was happening, but the Chiefs have made 3 updates, and a couple of them are semi-concerning. So we got to talk about it real quick here in this just quick hitter live stream. But first, all right, so yesterday, the Chiefs said a couple things, and that wasn't really surprising because we're all looking at the injury report and we're basing that on how players are trending. Kadarius Toney and Ross were listed as questionable. Meanwhile, Derek Nottie, who got injured in the wild card round against the Dolphins, he's ruled out. Sky Moore tweaked his knee on Thursday. Okay, his 21-day window to return was activated this week, right? He was trending upwards, but then his knee got tweaked on Thursday's practice. He sat out Friday and ruled out. He's not coming back from IR, at least right now. Even if the Chiefs win and are in the AFC Championship game next week, I don't know if we will see Sky or not. Take that for what you will. I know some people would rather not see Sky Moore return this season. But then Wanye Morris did not clear concussion protocol. He was full go on Tuesday, limited on Wednesday, did not participate on Thursday or whatever. It was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But it was full participant, limited, did not participate. They were all out. None of that was a surprise. Here's the surprises. Well, that was anticlimactic. That was supposed to back out to this. Okay, here's the surprises. Kadarius Toney, this was announced, by the way, at 10:50 a.m. This is 20 minutes ago. Kadarius Toney has been downgraded to out. Okay, that's not really a big surprise. I mean, I'm a bit confused why the Chiefs never just put Toney on IR. This is his 5th game in a row that he's missed. But maybe based on the injuries, they kept hoping that Toney would be able to play. So they're like, well, the issue's not grave enough, I guess, to put him on IR. So we'll just take it like a week-to-week thing. Okay, well, Toney is out. He's missing his 5th game in a row. That's kind of whatever. The receiver room is what it is. Toney has 169 yards and 1 touchdown on the entire season. That just is what it is. Not the biggest deal, in my opinion. And also, in the last Chiefs and Bills matchup, Kadarius Toney is the one who lined up off sides and negated a crazy touchdown near the end of the game. The more concerning ones to me is going to be the next 2 listed. Defensive end Charles Omenihu is now questionable with an illness. I don't know how sick this dude is, but I hope he ain't sick enough to not play, because I really do think Charles Omenihu could have a pretty standout game against the Bills. Everybody's worried about Karlaftis, who has over 10 sacks. Everybody's obviously worried about defensive tackle Chris Jones, who is one of the best, if not the best, defensive tackle in the game. But Charles Omenihu was suspended, I think, for 6 games this season, and he has 7 or so sacks already on the year, maybe a little bit more, which is a career high. And he made some really great plays and standout plays against the Dolphins just last week. So Omenihu was a guy that I was like, I think he's going to be a sneaky key guy to watch on the defensive line. He's questionable with an illness. I have no idea if it's a flu or a cold, but just something worth noting. And then Willie Gay Jr., he is listed as questionable due to his neck. And I was like, I'm over here like, what do you mean due to his neck? What happened to his neck? He wasn't even on the injury report. Well, he popped up on the injury report on Friday as a limited participant. You can see it right here. So he was fine all week. He wasn't even on the injury report. Actually, Willie Gay, here. He popped up Friday, limited participant due to his neck, and is now listed as questionable. Yeah, Willie Gay is tough because he is a very athletic linebacker. He's a guy that I would think maybe would be out there spying on Allen. But what that means is now maybe Drew Tranquill is out there even a little bit more. You're going to have more Bolton and Tranquill action. Again, he's also just listed as questionable, so he might be fine and he might play. But it's just worth noting that you've got Toney out, Omenihu questionable, Willie Gay questionable as well. 2 players that is not really ideal. Like, Toney's fine to me. It's whatever. But Omenihu and Willie Gay is a bigger concern. Now, if you look at the practice squad elevations, They elevated 2 guys from the practice squad. That's the max you can elevate. They activated defensive tackle Matt Dickerson because of Charles Omenihu, I would guess. With him being questionable, you need somebody on the D-line. You need some more help because remember, Derek Nottie is already out. Okay, he's out with a tricep injury that he sustained in the Dolphins game. Then they elevated nose tackle Mike Pennell. That was announced on Friday that Andy Reid said that they would be doing that. So that's not a surprise. But they did elevate Matt Dickerson as well. So that's kind of what's going on. Just wanted to give you guys kind of a quick hitter update on the injury report because there was enough moves or updates that were made, kind of surprising ones, that I was like, well, it's worth probably going live and chatting with you guys just for a quick second. I'm hanging out with my fam, but ran down here to make this video because, yeah, it was enough changes. I just felt like it was important enough for you guys to know and be aware. Andrew said, well, Willie will play. Yeah, I would assume there's not much keeping Willie Gay Jr. or Charles Omenihu off the field, but when they're surprising upgrades or downgrades from no game designation to questionable the day before a game, it always makes you a little bit nervous and gives you a cause for concern, certainly. But yeah, they both hopefully will play. You know, that's the hope. They know how important this game is, so they're not gonna not suit up. They will suit up unless it's drastic. Like if Willie Gay Jr.'s neck injury is so bad he can't turn his head or whatever, he's probably not playing. But he'll fight through the pain, most likely. Charles Omenihu, unless this guy is running a blazing fever and throwing up, he's probably also playing. Just definitely worth noting. Yeah, I am calling the Ravens and Texans game. Texans-Ravens game. I'll be going live in a few hours for that. I'm excited about that. Alexander, your birthday's tomorrow? Hopefully they get the dub for your birthday, man. Yep. Toney would just be lined up off sides again. Yeah. I mean, I was hopeful he would play because he's dangerous with the ball in his hands, talking about Kadarius Toney, but he hasn't played in 5 weeks, so it's not like a huge game plan was prepped for Toney and now he's out. We'll see more Mecole Hardman. That kind of answers that question for me. I think Mecole Hardman's going to be out there in Toney's stead. Like if Toney was going to play, I was kind of like, well, how are they going to balance Mecole and Toney? But now it kind of just answers that for me. Cole, if you didn't know Jen is your mother, oh, let's go. I had no idea. I learned something new. Awesome, man. Cole, who should the Chiefs fans go for? Between the Ravens and Texans, I mean, if the Texans win, Chiefs host AFC Championship game at Arrowhead next week if they beat the Bills. If the Ravens win, the Chiefs go to Baltimore. So your choice. I'd probably rather have a home game. Yep, probably would rather have a home game. We need Daniel Sorensen? Yeah, call him up, baby. Call him up. Well, hey, I'm going to get out of here. Just wanted to give you guys this news update. I will be live for the Texans and Ravens game if you want to come chat, hang out, and ask more questions. There was just enough updates on the injury report. I found it worth going over and sharing with you guys. So I appreciate y'all. And until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go.
How about those Chiefs?